Good morning. This is Elise Adams here with you this morning for another episode of the Excuse Busters show. Yesterday, we started the topic, cut the crap. You know, sometimes we just have to get down and dirty and real about what life is all about. And certainly my story has come from a very real place of despair and discouragement to hope and healing, and there's nothing more that I want to share with you than just the basics of how I've gotten here and why I have hope that turns into results today. Because we can have all the inspiration in the world, but without some practical steps to better our lives, it's really not nearly as powerful as we need. Yesterday, I spoke to you about the C in crap, about chaos versus contentment. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I encourage you. It's, 7 minutes on what it's been like for me to come from a place of insecurity and fear to a place of powerful, moving contentment. So I encourage you to catch that if you didn't get a chance to watch it yet. But today we're on the letter R. Cut the crap. What would R be about? I wonder if you can guess. It's about reaction. Reaction versus response. In those two words, it might seem to you like there's just a really fine line. To me, that fine line has been the dividing line between experiencing the fruits of the Spirit of self-control, of kindness and gentleness, and being out of control, really back in that chaotic place. For me, reaction is all about a victim stance. It's about waiting around for life to happen to me. And what's interesting about the word response and how powerful it can be is that it's still a place where I'm not really to proaction yet. I'm not really to procreating. I'm not to moving forward of my own, brilliant ideas. I'm still in a place of response. But it gives me 5 more seconds to make a powerful choice. It gives me the awareness that I do have a choice. I want the illustration that comes to mind from my own life about this is always my struggle with anger. I definitely am a fight or flight person, but I'll fight first before I flee. And so my reactions are, with that little hot temper, big hot temper, it's almost split second. And for years and years and years, I believed that I did not have a choice. That literally this revving volcanic energy inside me was not going to be tamed. and I had a lot of evidence for that. I had a lot of amends to make on a daily basis to the ones I loved because I struggled so powerfully with this. And it came from a very real experience of my mother struggled with anger. My father struggled with passive aggression, and so they had a very volatile relationship, to say the least, when I was a child. And she went on to struggle with it for many years, and I didn't know what to do. I had no clue. It took a lot of recovery and a lot of prayer. But let me tell you the really silly and simple and doable and takes lots of practice excuse buster for this one. And that is that I had to come to the place where I chose to respond versus giving myself permission to react. In my experience, I felt of the victim of my own reactions. I felt out of control for years and years. I tried all sorts of bandages and, half measures to take care of it. It wasn't until I decided that whatever it took, I was going to become a person who responds instead of reacts. If we allow ourselves to buy in to our own internal excuses about this reaction piece, then the minute that we conquer one area of our life, then another weakness comes up. Because The enemy will always just keep niggling at those trigger points, those tripwires I talked about yesterday. And we can fill up with rejuvenation, we can go to therapy, we can pray, we can do all sorts of things to bolster our spiritual immune system, and that's all good. But until the decision connects with the will, and I'm not talking about white-knuckling it here. I'm really not. I'm talking about a decision to take advantage of that text that says that with every temptation, there comes a way of escape. It's really true, folks. And it came to the place where as I contemplated and prayed and begged God to show me that way of escape, that place to move from reaction to response, from out of control, just split second, blah, to 5 seconds to choose, and then 10 seconds to choose, and then now I have a minute, and he backed it all the way up in my life, to the point where today I have the ability to choose that I didn't have before. Yes, it's a process. Absolutely, it's a process. But the cut the crap excuse buster for today is giving ourselves permission to react will always leave us in a victim perspective. It will always leave us in a place where we're blaming someone else, something else, some circumstance for what's going on in our lives right now. You know, I'm daily and weekly accountable for handling my instantaneous temptations to react. But that daily and weekly accountability and prayer and determination to stay willingness keeps me on the positive side of this cut the crap line. I get to stay, by God's grace, on the side of choosing a response. That's my challenge to you today. Come join me on the Cut the Crap project. There's going to be a great DIY checklist at the end of this video series, and I just encourage you to sign up for that. Let's get going into the great future God has planned for us together. Join me to celebrate your victories. Every little victory is worth a celebration. Praise God. Thank you so much. This is Elise Adams with the Cut the Crap No Excuses project. Have a great Tuesday. Be blessed.